I can't believe I have to sit here and actually recap a 2-1 loss to the San Jose freaking Sharks. What's up, Caps fans? I hope that you did not stay up late for that one. I live on the West Coast, so these Pacific time zone games are easy for me, but I can certainly sympathize for sure with anyone who deprived themselves of sleep in order to watch that garbage first period, okay? Sonny Milano draws a penalty by keeping his feet moving. Nice work by Sonny there. And so the Caps go to an early power play where Alex Ovechkin rings yet another puck off of the crossbar. What does this man have to do to get a goal? The Caps, they again generate a number of good scoring chances during their power play, but Mackenzie Blackwood, out of nowhere, he makes some ridiculous saves, and so it remains a 0-0 game. Then, choo-choo, Tom Wilson fucking annihilates Calen Addison down below the Sharks goal line. It was a clean hit, a perfect hit, actually. Textbook there from Tom Wilson, exactly the type of hit that you absolutely still want to see in hockey. And for Calen Addison, this was the definition of getting absolutely rocked. And it was honestly like poster boy type of stuff for when you're teaching kids why you have to keep your head up. Sharks head coach David Quinn, he is of course complaining about the clean Tom Wilson hit, but we can't take that very seriously, right? Because remember, David Quinn was the head coach who got fired by the New York Rangers the day after Tom Wilson had completely dummied his entire Rangers squad. So David Quinn, right, he's always going to be extremely salty towards Tom Wilson. Then it's a weak tripping call, a very weak tripping call on Rasmus Sandin. And even the Sharks broadcast team, I had the San Jose Sharks feed for this one because I'm up in Canada, right? So I use NHL Center Ice. You don't always get to pick which feed you get. I would, of course, prefer Joe B and Locker. But I had the San Jose Sharks feed for this one. And even the San Jose Sharks broadcast team said that that was an extremely weak call. As the Sharks player was already falling on his own before Sandin's stick ever got in there. And not to mention, like, the only reason why Sandin's stick was even in there at all was because the other Sharks player was hauling Sandin down from behind, which caused Sandin to fall, and that's what caused Sandin's stick to be in a position for that trip, right? So that's a horseshit call, to put it mildly. But then it is John Carlson coming up with a massive shot block on a wide open cage on the penalty kill to keep the score 0-0 for his Caps. Then Mackenzie Blackwood makes an absolutely ridiculous save on Matthew Phillips at one end. And then Darcy Kuemper leaves a very juicy rebound at the other end to put the Sharks up 1-0. So not great stuff by Kuemper there. You know, you would definitely like that rebound to be a lot more controlled. Second period, the Caps come out firing, but Mackenzie Blackwood, god damn it, he makes several more massive saves, and Dylan Strome, just to add salt to the wound, he rips another one off of the crossbar, just for good measure, right? Like, that's just how it's going right now for this Washington Capitals team, and you just had this feeling like it just was not going to be the Capitals' night. But then the Caps, they finally score on their 22nd shot of the evening. So Evgeny Kuznetsov with his 4th of the season, assisted by Trevor Van Riemsdyk and Martin Fehérváry. The Caps did then earn themselves another power play where they would hit 2 more posts and crossbars, if you can believe it. And I believe they were both Ovechkin again as well, although one might have been deflected by somebody else on the way in. But what does it really matter? Because once again, the pucks just would not find the back of the net for this team, despite again having created several good scoring chances. And like, I honestly felt bad for the Caps after that power play. I really did, because it's like, honestly, like, what do these guys have to do right now in order to get a goal on the power play? because like they are doing absolutely everything but score right now with the man advantage. The puck just will not get in the net, and it has got to be getting very frustrating for the boys at this point. So the Caps are out shooting the Sharks 27-17 at the end of 40 minutes in San Jose, but it is still a 1-1 score. Third period, the Caps, they kill off another power play for the Sharks, but then, and this was the turning point in the hockey game here, as then they get called again as Martin Feravari gets what can only be described as a bullshit high sticking penalty called against him that was clearly a follow-through, clearly, and should therefore not have been a penalty. Spencer Carberry is pissed. The whole Caps bench is pissed here, and that horseshit call comes with only about 8 minutes left in this game, in a tied hockey game as well. What can you say? Unbelievable. Fun fact, it also came out after the game that Spencer Carberry had asked for clarification from the league about why that was called a penalty. The league, they then responded to Carberry with an apology, essentially saying that the call was made incorrectly and that it in fact should not have been a penalty. So, you know, I guess that's something. I mean, this is a league that never admits when they're wrong, right? Never. So the fact that they admitted it here tells you just how egregious this call actually was. But I mean, at the same time, right, like an apology after the game, right? After the game has already ended, like what the hell does that do for us? Doesn't really do us much good, does it? As the Caps, they would kill off almost the entire penalty without allowing the Sharks so much as a shot on goal, in fact. But then near the end of the power play, the Sharks finally do get a shot on net, and Darcy Kemper, physically incapable of having a save percentage above 90, apparently, this season, he lets in that lone Shark shot, putting the Sharks up 2-1 late on the power play goal. So that is complete garbage, right? Complete garbage. Both from the referee, obviously, who made the penalty call, and then from the goaltender as well, who, you know, can't make one save when you need him to. Like, the Washington Capitals, they outshot the San Jose Sharks 34-23 for the hockey game as a whole, and they actually outshot the Sharks in all 3 periods of the game as well. So it was a pretty consistent 60-minute effort from the boys from Washington, who probably deserved a better fate, honestly, than they got on this night, you know, just based on their overall effort level. And for those who were interested in this sort of thing as well, the high danger scoring chances in the game were also 10-2 in favor of the Caps. So that's a very dominant performance that they just did not get the result for. It was, like I said, a pretty complete game, other than obviously just putting the puck actually in the net. So shit puck luck once again. The Caps added to their league worst puck luck with 4 more posts and crossbars in this game. And the other team's goalie, you know, came up with the big saves when the Sharks needed it, right? That's basically what it comes down to. That and an absolutely atrocious penalty call to gift one team the game-winning goal late in the 3rd period. Let's call it what it is. All right, Caps fans, that's it for me for this one. If you enjoyed the video, please smash that like button down below. Click on that subscribe button too if you haven't already done so. Until next time, babes, and as always, let's go Caps.